Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your end of November 2018 General Tarot Update. It's Rena, and I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. Hi Train. And I will cap off the reading with one card that I picked from the Universe Has Your Back deck. It's an Oracle card deck. Okay, we got two cards coming out. I'm going to put these as both of the challenge positions. One of my favorite cards. All right. Ooh, so we got major arcana cards. Death and the Moon card. Interesting. Wow. Oh, this is awesome. I thought this was the Four of Cups, but it's the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups for the heart of the matter. Wish fulfillment. Well, Jupiter's in the sign of Sagittarius, so there you go. Something that is something that you've wanted coming true, perhaps, in any area of your life. It could be landing the dream job, finding, meeting the love of your life. At the foundation of the reading, we have the Two of Cups, and this is definitely a romantic card. So either reuniting with somebody, that could certainly be, because at the end of November, we're just getting out of that Venus retrograde, and we have a Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius, starting out in Sagittarius. So maybe you hear from somebody from your past that you've been pining away for, and you're like, oh, they do want to get back together. Or it could be just making a commitment with somebody. Maybe you've been hoping that this person you've been dating wants to have a monogamous relationship, or if you already are monogamous, maybe they ask you to marry them or move in together, and you feel this sense of emotional satisfaction with whatever that is. Now, I did get two challenge cards. Let's see what these are, if they have any significance as, combined. The Father of Cups is one. So this is read as a challenge, in a reverse position. That would be like the King of Cups in reverse. This could literally be that you're having wonderful situation romantically, but maybe your father is a problem in your life for some reason. Or if you have, maybe this is the father of your child, and this person may even have an alcohol problem, or, some kind of an addiction. And let's say you're planning a wedding, and you're like, oh my God, my father is a complete drunk. How will I be able to have this wedding and even invite him? And maybe you don't want to. Maybe he's a narcissist, and you're afraid he's going to disturb the ceremony or the reception, because he always has to, make it about himself or something like that. Or any kind of an emotionally manipulative person will especially be a water sign, a strong water signature. So Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. And this person may be trying to thwart your happiness. So you have these beautiful cards, and they're both like cups, and even the Father of Cups is a cup. So this is an emotional situation. That's why I'm reading it like a personal relationship situation, and this Father of Cups may be trying to spoil it. Then I also got the Two of Swords. That can indicate a decision that has to be made. So maybe you're in a kind of a lover's triangle. I don't know. Like maybe the Nine of Cups is you met somebody that you really feel like is the one, but you're currently in a relationship with somebody else. Maybe you do share a child together, and that's the only reason why you'd even consider staying with that person. Otherwise, you might be gone. So, yeah, for some reason, you have to make a decision, maybe about cutting this person out of your life. They could be your father, or maybe it's like a father or a future father-in-law who doesn't approve of you, and you're afraid that if you get married, it's not going to get any better. The higher message is the Six of Cups. I just got this for another sign. I love this card because this is about roots. This is about childhood, even like children, having children. So as a spiritual message, it's going to be talking about it at a higher level than just the mundane advice. And, you know, if you share a child with somebody who has an addiction or who is causing problems in your life, the card would say, you know, how is this affecting the child or children? And it's not about the love life. At the end of the day, if a child is adversely affected from a dysfunctional relationship, that has to be taken very seriously. And it's not about like, oh gosh, you know, that makes you a bad parent. No, maybe you think you're doing the right thing. Maybe you're afraid that if you separate from someone who you feel is a problem in your life, that it's going to damage the child and that they won't view their childhood as happy, and that's not necessarily true at all. This is also the soulmate card. So this Nine of Cups, maybe this is somebody that has resurfaced. I really feel that this could be somebody that you dealt with in the past, who maybe you broke up with for, it wasn't even like that big of a deal, but it just led you in different directions. And you never stopped loving that person, but you did go on with your life, and you may have even had a child with somebody else. And now it's coming back, you know, everything is coming full circle. But you have this other life. You know, you can't just like, especially if you if you did have a child with somebody, you can't just say, okay, you know, bye Felicia, see you later, I'm going with this new person. You have to, you know, there are steps you have to take. But look at the more practical advice. This is kind of like pretty in-your-face blunt, like a typical Sag, as we are wont to be. And this is the Death card. It's like kind of like it's over. You know, it's not even about you anymore. It's like it's run its course. And you know how they say there are seasons for everything, for every relationship. So it's not even like you have to feel guilty, like, oh my God, I was going to say I hooked up with, but I didn't mean it in a sexual way. I meant just like you may have hooked up with, gotten back in contact with an old flame, and it wasn't even someone that you didn't even try to do this. This may have come about kind of in a very serendipitous way, that you found out about this person being back in town, or Maybe they contacted you through social media or something, and it just blew you away because maybe you've been wanting this for a long time. But you feel guilty because you feel like, oh wow, I shouldn't be doing this. Well, the Death card would be saying that whether you do anything or not, this current relationship is probably over anyhow. So, do what you will with that information. What is coming up is the Ace of Swords. This is a card of, I think, new beginnings are coming from mental clarity, where you really see things as they are. And again, sometimes emotions really make people feel obligated, even if they're unhappy in a relationship. That's what I was trying to say about the Death card, is that it's like change is inevitable. Transition is the name of the game right now. And it's not about what you're doing or what you're not doing that is creating that transition. It's about you being willing to look at your life as it really is and not sugarcoat certain things. And also not take responsibility for things that are not yours. If this King of Cups person is who I think they are, they're going to blame other people for everything in their life. They'll blame other people. If they're an alcoholic, it's somebody else's fault that they're drinking. It's the way that that person's acting that's making them drink so much. Obviously nothing is their fault. So people who are like that, there's nothing you can really do about it, because they may have a victim mentality, but they're not willing to own their part in anything. And that's on them. It's not your responsibility to save a person from themselves. They have to want to do it. And if they don't, it's on them. Simple as that. And the outcome is the Moon card. Oh, interesting, because I just said something about mental clarity, and sometimes the Moon card can indicate some sort of confusion, deception. I think that could even be a timing card, okay? So we're looking at the end of the month, and we are going to have a full moon in the opposite sign. Oh, so here we go. In Gemini. That's the 7th house of committed partnership for Sag. So maybe this full moon will shine a light on that relationship, and then you will see for once and for all that this person was the one that was lying. Maybe they're accusing you of doing things that they were doing. And then you will be free to go and free to, join with a person that you have true love for. So that would be nice. Okay, so here is the Universe Has Your Back card. Just, I don't know, this is just me. I do this all the time where I show the back of the cards. My fearless freedom lights up the world. Oh, you know what I like about this? This kind of reminds me of these cards, the sketches and I think that's really cool. Now, it's interesting that I got that card because Sag connects with the idea of freedom. And you know what I think too about that card is that when you're fearless about pursuing, following your bliss, you're going to show up in the world in the most authentic way possible. And by doing that, you inspire people much more than if you're trying to do this great job, but your heart isn't in the work. You may, you know, give a good fake out to others who are not really paying attention, but you give so much more when you're expressing who you really are, which is completely different from the next person. You know, even like if you think about tarot readers or astrologers, and if that's something that you like to watch on YouTube, they're different. Even if they're, you know, you have the same astrologers and they're talking about the same month of the year, they have their own spin, they have their own things that they focus on, their own delivery. And that's why we should never compare people. Not compare our children, not compare, you know, your current lover with a past one, and throw it in these people's faces and say, and this person did this for me. Well, that person's that person, and this person's this person. And in your own life, you know, these things that you, these talents that you bring, you know, don't hide your light under a bushel. Bring it out. Sag. Okay, that's what I have for you. If you'd like a personal reading, Sag, the link is below. The sun goes into the Sagittarius this month, but I'm already feeling it, maybe because Jupiter is in Sagittarius. I was walking around the other day, and maybe because it was starting to snow a little bit, kind of a little bit early for the Chicago area, but not unheard of. And it just it felt like Christmas, and I was like, whoa, this is way too soon. And then I walked by, you know, somebody had already put out this elaborate display for Christmas, and I mean, we just got done with Halloween, so this is really like, I think a lot of people are on the same wavelength here, and I think that's Jupiter. Jupiter wants us to celebrate, and just is, that's what the Nine of, oh, hello, the Nine of Cups is connected to Jupiter. So it might be exactly that influence that is affecting you, Sagittarius. Okay. Well, take care. Bye.